Have you ever walked into a room and felt invisible? Like your dress is right, your hair is right, but somehow the air passes straight through you? Tonight, I'm going to fix that. I'm Marilyn. They adored me. They photographed me. They told me I lit up a lens. And yet, I knew doubt like an old friend. I learned how to be noticed without begging for it. I learned how to make a room take a breath and turn its head, softly, elegantly, in my own timing. And I'm going to lend you my timing right now. I still remember a narrow hallway outside a casting office. My hands were cold. My name had been called 3 times in my life and then forgotten 10. I thought, is it me? Or is it how I arrive? That day I discovered a little secret I call my room compass. It's not a trick. It's a way of letting a room know you have arrived before you even speak. Here's what you do. When you step in, don't look for someone to save you. Choose 3 points in the room: 1 human, 1 object, 1 shadow. Let your eyes travel to each on a slow count of 3, like you're pouring honey. First stop, second stop, third stop. No smile yet. Let the silence become aware you're in it. Then place a tiny smile at the corner of your mouth and claim your spot. By a chair, near a mirror, next to the window, wherever the light loves you best. People think charisma means charging at attention. No, darling. Charisma means the room had no idea it was waiting, until you give it something to wait for. My next confession? I trained my laugh. Not to be fake, to be precise. I call it the champagne laugh, not the loud, look-at-me laugh that makes men clap each other's shoulders. No. This one is soft at first, like the moment the cork sighs, then it rises just enough to sparkle, and most importantly, it travels through the eyes. Your chin tilts a breath upward. Your hand touches the base of your collarbone like you're catching a little joy before it escapes. The sound is warm, not sharp. Why does it work? Because it says, I'm delighted, and I know exactly why, even if no one else does yet. In a crowded studio party, that laugh floated above the noise and made an island for me. People turned, not because I was loud, but because I was specific. Now let's take you into your morning, because nights are won in daylight. I had a ritual with satin and ice. It's very simple. After sleep, when your face still carries dreams, I'd press a chilled cloth over my skin, slowly, lifting upward, not dragging downward. Then I'd moisturize while the skin was awake, not shocked. That simple contrast, silk against cool, warmth returning, gives you a private glow. It isn't about looking younger by 10 years. It's about teaching your face to wake up like a secret, not a siren. You will feel fresh, which means you will move like you belong in the moment you're in. When conversation begins, I want you to carry one question that melts armor. Use it gently. Ask, what was the last thing that truly surprised you? Then be quiet. Watch their eyes go searching. You've just invited someone into a story they didn't know they wanted to tell. Surprise is the doorway to attention. And you, smiling, listening, not rushing, become the room where that surprise is welcome. People fall in love where they feel heard. They remember the person who opened the door. For entrances that linger, I love what I call the shoulder curtain. A shawl, a blazer, even a coat draped lightly across your shoulders. Not worn, framed. As you cross the threshold, let it cling and slide at the same time. A small choreography that reveals your collarbone, then covers it again as if you're almost shy. You're telling a story before you say a word. I am both warmth and breeze. A good entrance doesn't shout. It whispers and lets curiosity do the walking. You need a little talisman. Mine was a matchbook memory. I used to write 1 sentence before going anywhere that frightened me. 1 line on a tiny scrap I could keep in my purse. Tonight I glow. Or my pace is law. Or he's lucky to meet me. You don't show it. You don't recite it. You touch it with your fingertips when doubt taps your shoulder. Symbols are silly until they work, and then they're not symbols anymore. They're switches. Another secret. The room hears you before it sees you. That means your steps are part of your story. Not the length of your stride, but the breath that powers it. Inhale while your heel floats. Exhale as it lands. Think of a cat crossing a sunbeam. With each exhale, you're saying, I'm here on purpose. At dinner, every movement is a message. I call it the Silverware Ballet. Slow, precise. A glass held by the stem, not strangled by the bowl. A knife placed, not tossed. The tiniest pause before you bring a fork to your lips, like you're listening to music only you can hear. People read what you're not saying. They just don't know they're reading it. Make it poetry. I learned the power of a single color thread too. A red barrette in hair the color of butter. A crimson lining in a coat that flashes only when you move. Not head to toe red. The eye exhausts. One note of boldness is like a violin cutting through an orchestra. You want people to lean closer to find the source. That's control. Midway through my career, a journalist asked if the camera loved me, or if I loved the camera. I said, both, on our best days. The same is true for a room. Love the room a little. Greet the doorway as if it has good news for you. Let your eyes consider the exit not as escape, but as a promise you'll know when to go. The ones who leave well are remembered best. Quick confession about fear. Once I was told I wasn't right for a role because I was too much. I went home, sank into a chair, and cried into my palms. Then I looked up and thought, too much for whom? The next day I tried a different trick. I let my voice drop one shade lower, like velvet over a lamp. I slowed my answers by a heartbeat. The same woman walked in, but I gave them less to chase and more to approach. They leaned in. Do you hear that? The power isn't in how bright you are. The power is in how you choose to glow. Let's talk romance for a moment, because passion is an art, not a fire drill. I like to aim my compliments carefully, like arrows dipped in honey. Not you look nice. That vanishes in the air. Try. The way you listened to the waiter made him stand taller. Or, I like how you choose your words, like you file them smooth before you let them fly. Specific honey sticks. Specific desire does too. When you praise with precision, people feel seen, not scanned. Here's the gentlest way to turn pressure into intrigue. If someone wants you to stay and you don't, not yet, offer what I call a feathered promise. Warm eyes, a soft smile, and something like, I'm slipping away before midnight, but I'd love to finish this story the next time we meet. It's not a test. It's an invitation with a future built in. Leaving is an art. It should feel like a kiss that somehow lands 2 minutes after you're gone. Now, come closer for a secret about attention. There's a point in every evening when time thickens, when the music finds its rhythm, and people sink into their chairs. That's when you adjust one detail. A pin loosened in your hair so one curl falls. A ring turned around on your finger, revealing a tiny rustle of sparkle. The smallest edit wakes up sleepy eyes. They won't know why they're looking again. Let them wonder. You're wondering, I can feel it. Will this really make a difference for me? Try it once. Then try it twice. These are practices, not spells. But habits become aura, and aura is the perfume of your presence. When your presence speaks, you don't have to. Isn't that a relief? By the way, which of these secrets are you going to try tonight? Your room compass, your champagne laugh, or your feathered promise? Tell me below. And if you'd like more of these intimate little lessons, tap that like and subscribe, so I can slip another secret into your pocket tomorrow. Back to our mirror. Before you go out, make the room your co-conspirator. Stand where the light meets the shadow, turn your cheek into the light, tilt your chin down a breath, and smile at half strength. That's your rehearsal. Not for perfection, for familiarity. You're reminding your reflection that you're partners, not critics. I want you to carry a secret for the days when life feels heavy. When I was at my loneliest, hotel bed, cold carpet, one light burning like a ship lamp, I'd whisper, "There's a woman inside me who knows exactly what to do." And then I would ask myself, what would she do first? She would sit up. She would breathe. She would pick a dress that felt like morning even at night. She would put on lipstick not because she needed it, but because the ritual steadied her hands. That woman was me. She's you too, when you let her. On a sidewalk uptown, I once stepped over a vent and the world rushed upward. People remember the skirt. I remember the breeze, a mischievous little thing that insisted on being seen. Use what the world gives you. A draft becomes a dance. A hush becomes a stage. A glance becomes a conversation. We don't control the wind. We learn to flirt with it. There's a pause most people miss, the moment right before you speak your name. Try this. Someone asks, "And you are?" Float your eyes to theirs for one heartbeat, then say your name like it's a secret you're letting them keep. Not apologizing, not bragging, gifting. Say it again in your mind as they repeat it back. Names become anchors when you treat them like silk, not paper. And when you care for yourself, truly care, do it like ceremony, not chore. Warm lotion into your shoulders after the shower. Slip into fabric that kisses, not scratches. Light a candle and watch how the flame teaches your eyes to soften. This is not extravagance. This is rehearsal for the way you move through the world. If your evening begins in tenderness, its ending will have grace. One more for love. Keep one story ready that opens your heart without spilling it. Something like, "When I was little, I thought stars were holes in the sky where the light leaked out." Share it when the air feels safe. Vulnerability is not the same as exposure. It's the gold thread that stitches two people together just enough to want another stitch tomorrow. Now, before you go, remember your pace is law. Remember your eyes write letters across a room. Remember your laugh belongs to you first. Tonight, pick your 3 points. Pour your gaze like honey. Frame your entrance with a shoulder curtain. Carry your matchbook memory. Ask the question that melts the armor. And when you decide to leave, leave like a promise. Don't wait to feel like an icon before you act like one. Icons are made in small rooms, on ordinary nights, by ordinary women who practice extraordinary softness. Every woman can awaken her Monroe effect, not as imitation, but as ignition. Let the room notice. Let them wonder. Let them try to name it. Smile like you know the answer and tuck it behind your lips for later. That's the game. That's the glow. And darling, tonight, it's yours.